All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to demystify a prayer that is both deeply personal and recognized all over the world, the Catholic Rosary. We're going to break it all down. Okay, so I'm willing to bet most of you have seen these prayer beads before, right? Maybe at a grandparent's house or even just hanging from a car's rearview mirror. It's such a familiar symbol, but what's it really all about? What is the secret held within this simple string of beads? The word rosary itself is actually beautiful. It comes from the Latin word rosarium, which means a rose garden or a garland of roses. And that image, it's perfect because it really captures the two sides of the coin here. The rosary isn't just the string of beads. That's also the name of the prayer itself. The beads are the tool that helps guide you through it. So to really get a handle on the rosary, there's this fantastic analogy from St. Louis de Montfort. Think of it like a person. It has both a body and a soul. So what does that mean? Well, on one hand, you've got the body of the prayer. This is the physical stuff, right? The beads you actually hold in your hand, the words you say out loud, the Our Father, the Hail Mary. But then, and this is so important, you have the soul. And that's the silent meditation, the contemplation on these key moments in the life of Christ. That's what gives all the physical parts the real deep meaning. Let's take a closer look at that body. A standard rosary has 59 beads, and you can think of each one as a step on a little journey. You start at the crucifix, then there's the short strand that leads you into the main loop, which is made up of 5 sets or decades. It's basically a physical roadmap for the prayer, and each bead helps you get into the steady, meditative rhythm. And this quote from Pope Paul VI, man, it just hits the nail on the head. He says that without contemplation, the rosary is just a body without a soul. It becomes just a mechanical repetition of formulas. That really shows you that the meditation part isn't just some optional add-on. Nope. It is the absolute heart of the whole thing. Okay, so let's dive into that soul. What are we talking about here? We're talking about the mysteries, and these are essentially snapshots, key moments from the lives of Jesus and his mother, Mary. Now, these mysteries aren't just random. They're grouped into 4 sets, and you can think of them like different chapters in a story. First, you've got the joyful mysteries, all about the wonder of Jesus' birth. Then, the luminous mysteries, which cover his public ministry, things like turning water into wine. After that, the sorrowful mysteries, which focus on his suffering and death. And finally, you get the glorious mysteries, celebrating his resurrection. And what's cool is there's even a kind of schedule, with different mysteries for different days of the week, so it really weaves this whole story into your life. All right, so we've got the what and the why. Now, how do you actually do it? Let's walk through how to pray the rosary step by step. Okay, step 1, the start. You begin right at the crucifix, making the sign of the cross and saying the Apostles' Creed, which is a basic declaration of faith. Then you move up those first few beads for some opening prayers, like an Our Father and a few Hail Marys. This is all about setting the stage for the deeper meditation that's about to begin. Step 2, the decades. Now, this is the main event, the real heart of the rosary. There are 5 of them. For each one, you focus on a specific mystery. So you'll announce it like, the first joyful mystery, the Annunciation. Then, as you move your fingers along the 10 beads of that decade, you pray. And that repetition, it's designed to quiet your mind and create a space where you can really contemplate that one specific event. And finally, step 3, the conclusion. After you've journeyed through all 5 of those mysteries, you wrap things up. The Hail Holy Queen is a really common closing prayer. It's kind of a moment to just gather all your thoughts and reflections from the whole meditation. Okay, so we've talked about the beads and the prayers and the whole structure, but let's go a little deeper. What's the true heart of the rosary? I mean, why is this practice endured for centuries? Okay, listen up, because if you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. The rosary is, at its absolute core, a Christ-centered prayer. Yes, it has a huge focus on Mary, absolutely. But every single mystery, every Hail Mary, it's all designed to lead you straight to contemplating Jesus. Pope John Paul II had this beautiful way of putting it. He said, praying the rosary is like sitting at the school of Mary. And the idea is, well, it's pretty profound, but also really simple. Who could possibly be a better guide to understanding Christ than his own mother? It's this whole idea of getting to Christ through Mary. So what's the big deal? Why is this so important? Well, popes have called it a compendium of the gospel. I mean, think about that. The entire Christian story right there in the palm of your hand. It's also been championed as this incredibly powerful prayer for peace. And not just global peace, but also for strengthening the family, the very fabric of society. And the official support for this prayer from the very top, it's huge. Just look at Pope Leo XIII. His devotion was so off the charts that he's literally known as the Rosary Pope. Get this, he wrote 12 encyclicals, which are major papal documents, just on the Rosary alone. That's how vital he believed it was for everyone. So, at the end of the day, what are we left with? It's a simple string of beads that holds this massive epic story. Pope John Paul II had another amazing phrase for it. He said the Rosary marks the rhythm of human life. That's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? But when you stop and think about it, it walks you through joy, through service, through suffering, and ultimately to glory. It makes you wonder, right? Could this ancient prayer be a way to find that same rhythm in our own lives?